And it started badly for Forest here. We knew the strength of Midtjylland. Before the game, we discussed it from set pieces, Martin, and Forest came undone from a free kick from that opening goal.
Yeah, well, Murillo got injured just beforehand, and then he hobbles into position, and he's not really ready for it. You can see he's the last one out. He's almost like a man outside looking in. He doesn't see the runner, and it's a goal. And a fit Murillo would have seen all of that there and have taken up. Probably wouldn't even have taken up that outside position. He would have probably been more in the centre. But it's a goal. It's a bad goal from Forest because they would be totally aware that Midtjylland are strong in that area.
And Billing had a big role in all of the big incidents tonight. We'll talk a bit more about his involvement in that free kick in just a moment, but we're going to go right now to Becky Ives because she has Ange Postecoglou alongside her.
OK, Ange, if we just start, what is your initial reaction and thoughts to that game?
Yeah, really disappointing. Just really poor goals we conceded in the first half that again allowed the opposition to sort of get comfortable in the game, and yeah, it's been the story of our sort of last few games. We just key moments let ourselves down.
You obviously knew set plays were a big part of their game. What happened in that moment with the back line?
Yeah, like I said, we just let ourselves down in key moments in games. As I said, we knew the threat they provided. It wasn't anything organisationally. It's just in those moments we haven't shown the same desire and determination as the opposition.
Murillo picked up a knock before conceding the first goal. Do you think that was a contributing factor at all in there?
No.
He came off. Is it bad with him?
I'm not sure. I haven't seen him, so I'm not really sure what's wrong with him.
If we talk about some of the referee decisions that were going on out there tonight, from your point of view, should you have had a penalty? Morgan Gibbs-White looked to be clipped in the box from our point of view.
Yeah, but look, that would disguise my disappointment at the way we dealt with, like I said, the key moments. So we allow things like refereeing decisions to, dictate the outcome. Shouldn't even come to that. We should have handled the situation better.
Does it feel like there has been so much progress you were talking about? Does it feel like a bit of a step back tonight?
Oh, look, I don't know. Progress is us winning games of football. We haven't done that. So, yes, our football's been compelling at times, but you've got to win games of football, and that's what we've got to try and do.
There was some pretty strong messaging from the fans when the third goal went in. I don't know how aware you are when you are down on that touchline. What are your thoughts and reactions to their reaction?
Yeah, no, I heard it. It's they're fans, they want to see their team win, and they're entitled to their opinion.
Is it surprising to you it's happening so early in your tenure here?
Nothing surprises me in football anymore.
So where do you go from here? What have you just said to the players in the dressing room?
We just got to keep going. There's no hiding in the sport we're in. So just got to keep your head up and recover. We've got a tough game in Newcastle on the weekend, and we've just got to make sure we're ready for that.
Are you still confident that the team are all on the same page and they are understanding what you are trying to implement with them?
Yeah, I don't think I've seen anything that suggests they're not on board or they're not trying to implement the stuff we're talking about. But again, if we're not dealing with these key moments, which we haven't been in games recently, we're not going to win the games of football we need to win.
Ange, thank you very much for your time. Appreciate it.
Yeah, nothing really surprising. Ange Postecoglou in football now as he responded to those chants from the Forest fans here about him being sacked. He's only been here 23 days. Marinakis sacked an Olympiacos manager after 17 days at one point. Ange is his 8th manager. How much time do you think he's going to be afforded to turn this around?
I feel that he'll get extra time because he was appointed by the chairman, the owner. He brought him in, getting rid of Nuno, because he believed he was the right man, I think, and that's mid-season. So I feel they're going to give him extra time to kind of get his philosophy going, get Forest firing. I feel right now they're struggling to get their philosophy, get his tactics across to them. But today I feel it's just more disappointing because it wasn't actually tactics that let them down. It was more just getting ready for the set pieces. Like we said, we know the threat of Midtjylland and their set pieces, and that's what let them down today, because the open play, they didn't really create much. So that's why I think he'll be disheartened, because they got damaged by something that they knew was going to get damaged by.
And said there as well, you can't really call it progress until they start getting the wins, Martin.
It's the name of the game. You've got to win. It's really as simple as that. And everything else follows. You have to win the games. It does seem really strange, me saying this here, it's football. But the crowd they're already against him in many aspects. And this is the 6th game. He's got 6 games you're into. You'd hardly know the name of the tea lady. Never mind anything else. You're trying to fight. You're trying to implement a formation that is, I was nearly going to say alien, but footballers are footballers. They've got to find this out pretty quickly.
How hard is that? How quickly should it happen?
Well, footballers. Excuse me. He was one. I'm the manager. I'm taking the manager's viewpoint. It's a game. They played defensively last season and put teams in the break because they had a lot of pace in the team. Alanga, one of the quickest players in the game. I remember him scoring a goal here from just outside the box. Ironically, Forest have conceded one that they scored from last season. The type of goal that they scored from. But here's the point: players, when you are getting a little bit more possession, you should be able to deal with it. You have creative players on the side. It's up to them to break teams down. And they flattered there this evening. Before they got a late goal, they got a late penalty in the game. But it's just the whole disappointment. And I've been there. I know in slightly different circumstances, but at Leicester, I go to Leicester. I think I'm the best manager in the world because I'm winning at Wycombe Wanderers. I can't win a game to save my life at Leicester. And even those circumstances are a bit different because there was a lot of frustration at Leicester because managers were leaving and going elsewhere at the time. It was still difficult. And then you start to think about your message to the players. Is it getting across? Then you start fighting with players, which I do, and finding out that they're the ones that to blame, but they're not. I'm the one to blame. So eventually it's down to the manager to get it sorted out. He has to deal with that there, and you have to deal with all the noise that's around you. You can't let it, you can't allow that there to dictate everything, but it is very, very difficult to avoid it.
I have to disagree slightly in that, because when the manager comes in, especially when Nuno's played quite a defensive counter-attacking football, with him coming, he wants to be quite expansive, open, have a lot of possession, control the game. And when you're so used to playing defensive, being in shape and then counter-attacking, it's easier to play for players. But when you go into more expansive and you want to be on the ball, it's being able to control and know the positions that you need to be in to receive the ball and play. So it takes your time for you to actually get into the motions and the fluid and just being able to know where to be when someone else has the ball. Because for you to play, you have to have that connection with that other player for you to be able to play together and know where each other are. And when the people are constantly moving, it's 11 different players, 11 different people playing together.
But that doesn't come into when you're
Sorry.
conceding set pieces as well, though, because Ange seemed really frustrated with the desire and determination.
Sorry. Well, I have to slightly disagree with him, all right? So this is my point.
We could be here all
No,
night.
this is the reason. You've got Gibbs White, you've Hudson-Odoi, you've got all of those players, you've got Anderson. Do you think that they want to be defending for a lot of the game? Absolute nonsense. They want to be on the ball.
It should be a dream for them.
Absolutely. Total dream. Exactly.
I'm not saying they don't want to do it.
It's
finding the right way to do it and getting it across to the players.
The right way to do it is get hold of the ball and take it on and be positive with the ball when you're in possession. Instead of having 25% and now you're at 65%, it's a dream for players who are on the ball.
Well,
but they need to be shown how to do it.
Showing a player how to play?
Guys,
listen here.
We will carry this on after the break. We'll be back in a few minutes. But Forest undone in that first half by 2 set pieces, one from a free kick. Let's have a look at Midtjylland's second goal from a corner after Forest had equalised. And Ange spoke in the interview about his frustration, Michail, about the lack of desire, determination and those key moments really letting them down.
See, the problem that they were having is when the first few corners came in, set pieces were coming in, Midtjylland was always getting the first contact. It's the fact that they weren't getting the first contact was kept on putting themselves in trouble. In their defence, after they've conceded this, they were getting first contacts afterwards. But when you go 2-0 down, 2-1 down, and you've conceded 2, it came a bit too late for them. But it's the frustrating part is, one thing you know as a footballer is you have to get first contacts when it comes to set pieces, and they just weren't doing it. And they weren't blocking people out. Like Billingham was making the dart from the goalkeeper in front to get the flick-ons from the other free kick. The other person got the little flick on to the far stick. You got to get first and second contacts to get the ball out.
How frustrating must that be as a manager, Martin, when you've prepared all week for set pieces against them, you've briefed the team on what the risks are, and then that happens?
Yeah, the manager mentioned there about lack of desire in those particular instances. And that is major. It's absolutely major, because these are important. It's important. Set pieces are very, very important. But when you know that your opposition are very good at them, then you have to be extra vigilant. And they weren't. And they were sloppy in it. They didn't, as Michail said, they didn't get the first touch on. And once that first touch is in there, you're talking about a ball dropping about 3 yards out from the goal line. Now, some defender might be lucky enough to get a kick on it, but obviously didn't. And they're 2-1 down. It's just poor, defensively poor. Midtjylland will be delighted with it. Billing gets the first touch, and it's mayhem after that.
Yes, the 7 shots Midtjylland had in the first half all came from set pieces. It's what they do. They knew that was coming. Michail, they did improve Forest in the second half, though. What got better in their performance as they pushed for an equaliser?
I just feel like they came out second half fearless. I think they might have been a bit nervous playing at home for the first time in Europe. But the flow, they started playing some good football, some good flow about it. Morgan Gibbs-White and Anderson, they were everywhere. They were running everywhere, trying to get their team going, trying to push their team by trying to create more chances and stuff. And obviously, you're going to have to give it to Chris Woods. He came on, got 2 goals disallowed, and he became a pivotal player up top for them. Like, hold-up play, good movement. He definitely shows why he scored so many goals last year and came on and got a goal today. So got himself off the clean sheet. And that very first goal for a striker is very key, is very pivotal. So the fact he's got it tonight, he can hopefully go on the run.
They were hit on the counter-attack as well, Nottingham Forest. They wanted a foul in the lead-up to that, Martin. Did you think it was a foul? Did you see anything in that on Hudson-Odoi?
No, I didn't. Yeah, I think in those particular moments, Forest were stretching for the equalising goal, and of course, but they lose the ball outside Michelin's penalty box, and then Osorio goes on this run, which is an absolutely fantastic run. Forrest are stretched, completely stretched. Now it's a matter of whether I thought he was going to pass it earlier on, but he slides one through, and it's brilliant. Andreasen sticks the ball in the net, and it's a big blow. And if you're the manager sitting in or standing in the touchline, and you're trying to force an equaliser, and you've just been broken there, it's desperate.
In their defence, in the situation, the referee was giving them fouls all game. For me, I don't believe it was, but he was giving them more games. So the fact he was doing it, you can't really change. And Morgan Gibbs-White there as well, like he was on a yellow card. I know if he wasn't on a yellow card, I reckon he would have taken the player down or taken the foul. But obviously, on a counter-attack, any type of foul there is a red card for them, and then that's them out of the game.
The fans started leaving at that point, but it's 13 goals in 6 games that they've conceded under Ange Postecoglou. What does he have to fix urgently before that Newcastle game on Sunday?
I think he mentioned. I think you genuinely. First of all, there'll be disappointment in the dressing room. They haven't got a result. For him, the most important thing is whatever message he wants to give to the players, he has to stay positive, really positive. That is very difficult at this minute. It's a tough fixture up there now for him. But the one thing they have got to show more desire, particularly in moments like that. There, the set pieces, things that you say that Newcastle, believe it or not, are quite strong and in terms of attacking it. So they have to be vigilant. They have to be all of those particular things. Tomorrow morning, he'll take a bit of consolation from the attacking force that they had, but they still have to break sides down. They've got a penalty, they've got themselves, to 3-2, all too late. But overall, yeah, it's a difficult one. That matches just come thick and fast when you're losing, and so he's He's the manager. He has to deal with it.
It was a bit of a party atmosphere here before kick-off, and ended up with boos ringing out, chants against the manager. Do you believe he can turn this around, Michail, and win the fans over? Because clearly, as he said, it wasn't love at first sight.
Only way he can do it is by winning games. I just believe he needs to believe in his philosophy, believe in what he's doing, whatever he's doing is the right thing. Obviously, he's only been in there, what did you say, 23, 26 days? So it's still early days for them. It's difficult because football, results, that's the most important thing. But I feel like he's going to get a bit more time. The more time he has, he's got to believe in himself and believe in the players. And once he does that, I feel the team can build itself. Like, there's been many managers that started off poorly, and then from that they've created and done some amazing things.